Good evening, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
We just want to thank you all for coming out this afternoon in support of my dear friend. He's like a brother to me. We share the same political mother. The only difference is that we have a little bit more DNA in my system than his. But all jokes aside, it's my pleasure to be standing here. This has been the long plans. This has been planned in, over the past several months. And something that I remember someone eulogizing Al Smith and our late great governor. And it said that our first political responsibility is our duty to ensure that the people we serve, that we make their lives better. And that in doing so, we move forward in an effort to make sure that those that cannot stand up for themselves have someone that stands up for them. Some people who cannot speak up for themselves has someone to speak up for them. And I believe that the man behind me, who's been our assemblyman over the past several years, has been someone who exemplifies just that. Someone who has stood up for Brooklyn, stood up for New York State, and more importantly, has stood up for the men, women, and children of the 57th Assembly. So I'm not going to be long, but I also want to make sure that you just understand this, that he was about moving Brooklyn forward, because we deserve better. But more importantly than deserving better, we'll get better with him in Congress. My fellow district leader, Robert Cornicky from the 56th Assembly District. We stand wholeheartedly behind this effort and this campaign, because we understand that this is not just about one particular person, but for the thousands of people that represent the 8th Congressional District, who need our support, who need our counsel, who need our energy. Because without us, there will be no you, and without you, there will be no us. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you the next assemblyman of the the next congressman. The next congressman.
Looking in the mirror.
The next congressman from the mighty 8th Congressional District. From the mighty 8th Congressional District.
Thank you, Walter. We can forgive Walter for that slip-up, because we know Assembly may be on his mind in just a little bit. And he's sounding like an Assemblyman. We're going to work on that one in September. But it's so great to be here with my two district leaders, good friends, Robert Cornicky, Walter Mosley, and of course with so many of you who have been there with me from the beginning. And it's been a wonderful journey to get to this point. Earlier on in the day, I was out in East New York with some homeowners talking about the foreclosure crisis that has ravaged that community. And we're going to work on turning that situation around. Then I was out in Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's the reason why I'm a few minutes late. Some of you may have noticed that my shoes are a little dusty.
Mighty dusty, yeah.
The shoes are a little dusty. I was at the opening of the Bedford-Stuyvesant Little League. And in fact, President Obama wasn't available. So they had me throw out the first pitch. And I didn't hit the dirt. But of course, in Bedford-Stuyvesant, there are many challenges that need to be confronted, and we're going to deal with the challenges that we continue to face throughout central Brooklyn, here in Bedford-Stuyvesant, in East New York, in Canarsie, over in Coney Island, which is now part of the 8th Congressional District. Everywhere that I've traveled, I respect the service that people who have come before me have given, but it's clear at this point, notwithstanding the fact that the economy is beginning to recover, and we know it will continue to do so under the leadership of President Obama. That notwithstanding that, there are still people all throughout the congressional district who are suffering. We've got children trapped in a failed public school system.
I know that's right.
We've got families in desperate need of affordable housing. We've got seniors who sometimes have to choose between putting food on the table, clothing on their back, or paying the rent, or getting the medicine that they need to keep them healthy. We got parts of the congressional district where there are too many guns and too few jobs. And while we respect the police, it's not always clear that the police respect us. And so it seems like as we move forward, there are many challenges that I look forward to confronting in a way that doesn't divide us, but in a way that brings us all together. Because the great diversity of this district, the great diversity of Brooklyn, is a tremendous strength. It's a strength that we haven't always capitalized upon, but it's a strength that I plan on leveraging to make sure we can improve this community for everyone involved. For whites and for blacks and for Latinos and for Asians. I was with the Bangladeshi community in City Line out in East New York just last night. For everyone involved. For Christians and for Jews and for Muslims, for the young and for the old, for those who are struggling, for the wealthy, the well-off, for everybody that's involved. We're going to work toward making this community the best possible place that it can be. So if you continue to work with us as we march toward victory. Victory on June 26th. Yes. I promise that if you send me to Washington, I'm going to stand up.
You're going.
When Maryland,
when you go.
When I get to Washington. We're going to stand up for affordable housing. We're going to stand up for public education. We're going to stand up for Social Security. We're going to stand up for women's rights. We're going to stand up for immigration rights. We're going to stand up for civil rights. We're going to stand up for workers' rights. We're going to stand up for Medicare. And we're going to stand up for our President, Barack Obama. Download the power of the federal government into the 8th Congressional District and make the lives of every single person the best that it can possibly be. God bless you and thank you for your support.